So, man, I think it's always appropriate, first and foremost, for people to know the history, the background. This here is Pastor L.E. Brown. When I talk about National Block Club University, it was under Block Club charities. We had Block Club Union, 14th of Springfield, west side of Chicago, North Lawndale. This brother and I came together. We started the Block Club and got that puppy rocking and rolling. Got mad respect for Pastor L.E. Brown and what I seen his journey be. And he's going to talk about, what the next leg is. Because, every year we write new chapters in this book of life. So, man, I appreciate you coming on. It's Wednesday. Every Wednesday is Economic Day. We want to talk about money, talk about buying and supporting our own, just like everyone else. So without further ado, man, tell my audience, man, who are you, Pastor L.E. Brown?
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you, Cyron. It's good to be with you, man. It reminds me of old times. We wasn't on a Zoom or anything. We was across the street in your house. Or even in my basement.
Right? Yep, exactly.
So we're grateful that God has brought us this far. But yeah, I'd like to share with your audience what I have come across in my life to be something that is very wonderful and true. It has to do with wealth and money, but in particular, it has to do with how the wealthy have been keeping from us the way or the means by which they remain wealthy. And therefore, they have enlarged the wealth gap to where it almost seems impossible for us to attain to close it. But there is a way we can close the wealth gap. There is a way that we can leave a legacy for our children, where we can propagate financial wealth throughout the generations to come. And one of the things I say, it may not be where I am left with a lot of money, because my father didn't leave a legacy. He didn't leave, well, he's not dead yet, but his father didn't leave him anything. And so my father, even now, is poised really to not leave me anything, but that's the way they were taught, to do for themselves, and everybody else have to make it for themselves. But I believe in the word of God that says a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. And that is how you perpetuate and propagate wealth. You have to do it. You have to teach the generations coming up behind you, even if it's where you don't handle it. I mean, you're leaving it as a legacy, something that bespeaks of what you did in your lifetime. And so one of the books I've been recommending my people that I speak with to read is this book right here. It's called Money, Wealth, and Life Insurance. Well, you would ask the question, why is life insurance in the same sentence as money and wealth? Well, if you read the subtopic, it says how the wealthy use life insurance as a tax-free personal bank to supercharge their savings. This is just one of the components that we find how the wealthy have been doing it. We thought it had always been in stocks, but stocks is such a risk. People don't put all their money in stocks because you don't know whether you're going to win or you're going to lose. But when it comes to certain products like life insurance and compound interest, you have predictable outcomes, where you can say, hey, by 2 years from now, I'm going to have this amount of nest egg, and I know it's going to be there, and it's going to be tax-free. So
now, can we, let's check the audience just to make sure. So the average everyday person who's watching, who's connected with someone that's watching, they have whole life right now. They have some insurance, but they're listening and they want to know, or they intrigued to want to know more. How can they use this like the wealthy? That's the part you're about to break down, how they can possibly convert what they have into what you're talking about product wise.
Yeah, yes, because it's a product that was invented in 1980 by E.F. Hutton. E.F. Hutton invented the index strategy, which is only upscale gains and no downside market loss. It's a strategy where your money is not in the stock market. your money shadows the stock market on all of the upside gains. And so the index strategy says, I don't know if your audience have ever heard of this, but index strategy says zero is your hero. And some people feel like, hey, zero, if I get down to zero, I done lost. No, at 0%, you don't lose, but you don't gain. All right. You want your interest rate to be going up to some degree, but in the stock market, your gains can go below zero. Now you lose all your capital gains and you losing all of your funds. And so in life insurance, there's an index strategy, which guarantees you compound interest from 8 to 12 to 15% compound interest. And that money is a gain that cannot be lost. It is a gain that cannot be taxed. Why? Because of the 7702 tax code citation. Why? Because of TEFRA, DEFRA, and TAMRA, the three, I call them Siamese twins, the three twins, law taxations that says that life insurance cannot be taxed. So the wealthy have been putting their money in these index strategy life insurances, and I'm telling you, getting compound interest upon their money, and then they take it out tax-free. That's why Donald Trump only had to pay $700 and whatever dollars it was, because he uses tax code citations to do that. And it's not illegal. It's legal. It's according to the IRS, Internal Revenue Code. So this is something that I've been educating our people on and hoping that we hear how to begin to set up a contract where we can allow our money to gain compounding interest over the years. And then when we're off the scene, as a matter of fact, that particular contract blossoms into your 1 million turns into 2 to 3 to 4 million at time of death. So, you know, it's a win-win, and other cultures have been using this to stay ahead.
Right. Now, when you look at the state of our community, is it a certain demographic that normally will hear what you're saying and jump right on it in our community, or is it normally takes a long time for people to get their mind wrapped around this concept?
Well, it's kind of sad to say, but I will say, since you asked it, the demographic that I see hearing this concept and grabbing it at first mention is the Africans that's coming over from Africa. They are hearing what this is doing. They're coming over, first of all, looking for the American dream. So they hear how they can achieve some things and leave a legacy for their children coming over, right? They have this group out, as a matter of fact, called the Wakanda Nation. And they're killing this concept. They are pouring into it because they've heard about it, and they see and they've met millionaires that are doing it. So now they're taking this upon themselves, and they are actually taking it by storm. Whereas some of the other geographics or demographics, they you know, one of the things that was said, I'll let you say, they said this, that the rich get richer because the poor believe that every opportunity is a scam. And every opportunity is not a scam. We have to learn and know how to hear an opportunity and go for it.
And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to interview you, because what most people want to do is be able to hold someone accountable, except themselves. Right. So the fact that I'm bringing you on, if you are doing something that you should be, guess what the people go say? They go come to me and say, Si, that person you brought on, L.E. Brown, he did X, Y, and Z, because they going on the vouching that I'm giving to say, I'm gonna trust you, I trust you, Si, so I'm gonna trust him. And, right. and I think that's the beauty of what we're doing here, because then they know I'm speaking, I already spoke about what you mean to me. So now they get to engage you directly and find out a little bit more and whatnot. Is it expensive? Like what would something cost to be a part of using life insurance, you know, anchor for your economic situation?
Well, don't be, and I'll say this to your audience, don't be afraid of what you're hearing about the index strategy life insurance or the IUL policies, because they have this saying or this word out that they call them the rich man's Roth. But it's not just for rich men. You can start with an IUL a index universal life insurance policy, you can start with one for where your money is attainable. Now, I will say this, that, there's no $50 policies. There is no, because it's designed for investment purposes. It's designed for you to see the accumulation of cash grow. All right. So, I had one for 75,000 for a lady who was 72 and she wanted to go for that, but they don't really go too low, but because they have other things attached to it, such as long-term care and concierge benefits, which gives you where Everest will plan your funeral out for you. They would do all of the legwork and the logistics, the flowers, the funeral home casket, and give you an unlimited amount of cloud storage for your pictures and memories and stuff like that. So they want
I was going to ask you about that. Is it elders or young people? But you already segued into that.
Yeah, it's for the young as well. And it's best to start when you're young so that you can see 10 years down the road. I mean, where you've put your money and your money is safe. It's safe against lawsuits. It's safe against probate litigations. It's safe against taxes. It's safe if the economy collapsed. As a matter of fact, during the 1930s, during the Great Depression, when the economy collapsed, insurance companies were really the only companies that withstood that test of time. They bail out the banks, all right? They're the ones that are the legal reserve that help others and help the banks keep their FDIC insurability there. You're on mute, Si.
And what I was gonna also say, because every Friday is Love Our Seniors Day. If you're an elder and you feel like your best days are behind you, you got insurance policies on your children. What do you speak to? What do you say to them? They're not as focused on investing, but you talked about leaving a legacy. So just speak to a person over 60 years old.
Over 60 years old, there's still room. All right, it is right, like really never too late. At 60, they may be thinking, like you just mentioned, down another avenue rather than investing, because they may feel that the time is not expanded as it would be if I was in my 30s. But we do have coverage, which is long-term care, all right, that has a component to it that allows them to enjoy that coverage even beyond certain coverages that other insurance companies have. And they still are able to be given the concierge rider for free, as the same as those who have the IUL contract. You on mute?
Yeah. Okay. So here's the other piece though too. So what if someone, because some of our elders, we sticking with the elder thing, have reverse mortgages and things of that nature, and so they have that money. They might be considering that reverse mortgage that they're going to leave at home, and that's their legacy. Can you articulate why they should still do this versus just, reap the right now benefits of a monthly payment from reverse mortgage?
Well, the choice would be theirs, which there is always a strategy. As a matter of fact, I was listening to a fella who is a financial planning specialist and a retirement strategist. He was talking about the reverse mortgage, how that is not bad. It is a good deal, but it depends on what they're looking to leave as a legacy. If it's just a home, or is it something to propagate a generational wealth? Is it something that they want to leave for not just the immediate child, but for even the grandchild? Then you want to kind of implement a financial strategy in with a mortgage, what they call it, that you just mentioned, a mortgage.
Reverse
mortgage. Now they're setting in the financial means, as well as some suitable place that could be another income source for the next generation coming on. And that's what normally those homes are used for. If they're not livable, if they decide not to live in them, they'll recoup the cash value of the home and take that and invest it into something else, right? And that's okay too. What's that?
Have you seen that? People do that, like use that monthly income to pay for their ED, whatever you call the process you're doing?
The IUL?
IUL, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I've heard the strategy concerning it in my learning. And some of those strategies, I'm equipped at them. Some of them I'm learning because there's such a strategy that comes with it. One of them is called the family bank, which is what the Rockefellers did to maintain the wealth in their generations. They would take out $1 million contract on every baby that's born. All right. And then by the time that child is 18 years of age, they're millionaires. So, there's so many strategies to do with this.
Now let's switch over to the young people. What's the youngest a person can participate in the IDUL?
To be insured or just to be?
Well, not to be insured, to participate, like to take out policies. Is it 18?
Well, yes, they do have to be of age, 18, yes. They have to be of age.
And why would they do it? Because they would have the most to gain, right? Because they get to be in the game for 30, 40 years. Like, speak to the young people, the 18-year-olds. Should they even think about this and care about it?
They should, because it will revolutionize their life. They will see the index universal life insurance is not just for a death benefit, right? It's not just for when you die, but it is designed that while you're living, you can take money and live off of it. You could buy yourself a home. You could buy yourself a car. It is a contract that is really geared toward the length of time so that you can see the maximization of compound interest, which Albert Einstein says, he lets us know that compound interest is the 8th greatest wonder of the world. So you want to leave it and watch.
I think that's you, because I'm still going. You're frozen right now.
Can you hear me?
Okay, you're back now. You had froze, okay. But you saying the 8th wonder of the world, compound interest?
See 12% of compounding interest attached to the money you have already. It's working for you. You're not working for it, it's working for you. And so I would say to the young people, so that they wouldn't have to do the 40-40, get out of here, work 40 hours a week, work 40 years of their lives, and then they're up out of here. Hey, do something that's worthwhile while you're young and watch it grow with you, that by the time you are of age of more independence, you're able to see how it have worked for you and have a greater lifestyle.
And you got access to the money if you need. If you hit a hiccup in the life road, can you go back and get it with penalty, without penalty? How does that work?
No, it's not like your 401k, which accrue penalties, that if you try to take it out early, there's a 10% penalty. There's no penalties, there's no fees, right? You go and you take the money out tax-free. And that's what I want to stress. You take it out tax-free with no penalties. It's a phone call away to say, hey, I would like this amount in my account. They say, okay, this is the particular account you want it in. 24 to 48 hours, that money is in your account, tax-free.
That's good. So let's talk about teachers. We have a teachers network. Teachers got their financial setup with the unions. Do you know much about how the unions got the financial setup for their members, their teachers?
I don't know in the particulars how it worked, but I will say this concerning this index strategy is that teachers can set up their own what is called executive bonus plan with this sort of index strategy, to where they are getting compensated as an executive monthly or annually. They can set that up to come out of the compounded interest effect to be put into their accounts on an automatic basis, annually or monthly.
Well, I know our teacher Charles gonna like that. Reba gonna like that. Crystal, we got some teachers. When they watch this, they're gonna appreciate that.
It's a great plan.
Well, so what are we missing? We missing anything like because you of course got to give them your contact info, how to reach you as well.
Yeah, I like to give my contact information, but if there's something that they would like to learn about it, it's something that your CPA don't know about. I'll just make you aware of that now. This is for the insurance market, and this is what they have held to themselves and letting it out only through their agents. You don't see this particular type of insurance in a commercial. It's not something that's advertised on a bus or L or any platform, because it's for serious people who want to do something seriously with their serious cash. All right. And they're serious about seeing a great future. So I like to, get that information at the end.
You not giving your number, website, how do people reach you?
Oh, my phone number, I would like them to give me a call because I'm not able to give a card through Zoom, but they can reach me at 417-812-4879. And I'll be glad to show them a presentation of exactly how this index strategy works. It has the components of all the others, but it is the hybrid of every insurance policy that you've heard about.
Well, what I'm gonna do, and I think this is key, we gotta repeat. This video is being recorded so I can upload it later so people can always watch it on demand. But every Wednesday being Economic Day, I'm gonna challenge our leaders, all of our governors, district leaders, and mayors to schedule some time so that Pastor L.E. Brown can present to your audience. He did it with me via COVID safe Zoom. And that way your people can ask more questions and hear directly and see the presentation. So all of our leaders, not just in Chicago, Gary, Indiana as well, Atlanta, everywhere, go ahead and let me know, or you got Ellie Brown's phone number, let him know so we can get him scheduled to speak to your family. It don't even have to be the community right away, your own family, but the bottom line, compounding interest is exciting. And the index piece sounds like it's the way of the future. So any closing remarks there?
Well, I like what you just said. It's the way of the future. It has been hidden for such a long time, but now things are opening up, and because of technology, we have access to more than we know. And so I would say this is for serious people who seriously want to see their family move away from poverty, move away from just enough, not enough, to more than enough. And if you're serious about that, give me a call. If you like to see how this strategy works, which is proof positive, you can see it with your own eyes and you be the judge of it.
And just to blow away the boogeyman, this is something that don't have to cost them hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? This is something that's doable, right? Practical. Can you just close that out? That'd be it.
It's something that's doable. Yes, it's doable for anyone who desire to do it. Again, as long as you're 18 and older, you can begin to invest. It's an investment piece, but it's a piece that, as I say, this book lets us know that those who use it, some of the people who use it, such as Walt Disney, such as J.C. Penney, such as Mr. Kroc, who started McDonald's, they use this type of life insurance strategy to get up a propriety that is going and has spread it worldwide. I mean, we all know about Walt Disneyland. Walt Disney used a life insurance policy, just like the one I'm sharing with you now, to upstart Disneyland. And that's why it's going today. Same way with J.C. Penney, he used it to set out clothing stores throughout the world, and he used the life insurance policy to upstart that because nobody would back him. Nobody would back Walt Disney, and so they took money out of a index life insurance, and they used that money to get it started. So it's a powerful tool.
Well, and it has legs and track record. Well,
exactly.
I appreciate you, and we got it documented. It'll take probably an hour to get it on YouTube, and then we just go from there. But look for me to be talking to my leaders and finding out the schedule and make sure it matches your schedule, and then we go from there.
All right. I appreciate you having me on. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. All right. Talk to you, Pastor.
All right.